Hello, world. I'm here. I do hope that there is chat on this live stream. Oh gosh. Every time I get in a live stream, there is not chat. Every single time. Well, for the past couple of times I've been on the live stream. The last time I went live was May 18th. Here I am again, my robe, on my bed, with my placements behind me and everything like that. And I'm just chilling out once again. And I was thinking of doing a Real Me podcast episode, but I want to do a live stream and a contemplation over all this water going on in the sky right now. All these watery planets. And if you do want to comment, feel free, because I want to see those comments. Hopefully seeing them throughout this live stream. So I don't have a massive following right now, and I make these videos which are worthy of me having a massive following, but I don't have that right now. So what can I do? I sort of went off my other channel, which I wish I didn't do, but I was careless and not mindful. I clicked the button, promote, and boom, the following just grew instantly. And YouTube is tricky because I wish that I clicked on the promotions and it came up with pay information, like use PayPal or whatever, or your debit credit card or whatever. That would have stopped me right in my tracks. That would have stopped me right in my tracks, not to click promotions. That would have stopped me. That would have easily stopped me. But no, it's just a button and clicked, and then boom, it just went crazy. So that's a little bit unfortunate. um, the last couple live streams I did were test live streams, and it will work because I tested it out a couple times, and um, it will work. It's guaranteed to work. It's kind of like I just say that things are guaranteed to work, and then a part of me just wants to disbelieve in that, wants to disbelieve that they will not work. Oh, hello. Nice to see you. I've gained some new followers from the last time I was on a live stream. So it's nice to see that comment in here. Very, very nice. Hopefully I see more. So, uh, so, it's like, telling myself that it's going to be fine and it's not going to happen and it's guaranteed not to happen 99% of the time. There's always the 1% that it won't happen. There's always the 1% that you'll get up and something unpleasant will land on your back when you walk in the day's sky, or, um, you know, or you will trip and fall outside. It's kind of like that. So there is really no certainty in life, but I think I'm kind of leaning into that feeling. And I think that next time I do a podcast episode, I'm going to be much more secure. I chose to compartmentalize my own stuff and not say it on the previous episode that came out today on my channel. And I was like, I don't want to keep having these episodes where I just share everything. I was just like, I don't want to do this anymore. So I just kept it. I just didn't speak about it, and I felt perfectly fine not talking about it. So, um, yeah. So, will that be the only comment that I'll be getting in this live stream? And you could ask yourself, why am I doing this? My following is so small. Feels like I'm never going to reach 1,000 subscribers at this point. I have this dream and aspiration too, but it's a while until it pans out. So YouTube will not be gone in 5 years. It will be here for the long haul. So that's what I can have faith in knowing. And there it is again. The feeling of, well, what if you're denying the truth? Because I get this feeling like I am denying the truth. What if you are believing something that is not true just to make yourself feel better? What if? Like there's this voice inside of me that keeps telling me, like, what if you are not looking at the truth of what's going on? I am looking at the truth of what's going on. I'm seeing more comments, great. And boom. So I am looking at the truth of what's going on. And saying, no. Okay, no. I know that the episodes on Spotify will get published. I just have to have faith that they will get published. And the episode that did not get published on the 28th of May, the Full Moon and Sagittarius Collective Look episode, was just a fluke. The episodes will get published. The other episodes will get published. That's what I have to keep reminding myself of. I was seeing a podcast where just today before lunch, she posted the episode to her YouTube channel, but probably forgot to post it to Spotify. I think that she forgot to do that. Yeah. We're human. We forget things. So it's quite natural to, forget. Like I sometimes forget to post to my community, mainly my Real Me podcast episodes. I sometimes forget to do that post like before I left on my vacation, or excuse me, for my mom's medical thing with her health. I forgot to post to my community the last Real Me podcast episode. That was some episodes are going to be more clear than others. Some episodes I'm going to be in contemplation, in the mess of it, in the process of it, not clear with it. And other episodes, I'm going to be really, really clear knowing what I'm talking about. It just all depends on how I feel and what I want to say. Some episodes I may not want to go back and watch, but none of the episodes I will be deleting. None. Absolutely and unequivocally, or is that even a word? I will not take down any other podcast episode, no matter what. No matter what. I'm tired of living from the outside in, because God forbid I should say what's in my heart to say. God forbid I should share my ideas. Thank you. Keep working hard. It's so nice. I will keep working hard because I want to inspire others in the world to shine in their own light. And I want to inspire others to be their authentic selves. And I want to be a light in the world that you can rely on, because in my mind, the content these days with astrology has just it keeps getting more limited. Channels stop producing, or they take, breaks, so they produce less, or, whatever. They have memberships, or I don't know. I want to be a rock of reliability and stick it out for the long term. Like, I'm here for the long term. I need you to know that. I'm here on this channel for the long term. Now, I may cut down to 2 videos a week. Maybe. And sometime I may even have a website for myself. I plan on calling it Cosmic Sky Insights or CosmicSkyAstrology.com. That will come way later in my life when I have people to help me get the website set up. But, what was I saying? What was I saying? I want to inspire others to be their true selves. And I want to be consistently producing content on my channel. I am a consistent, stick it to it person. I need you to know that, and I need myself to know that I'm consistent and that I am going to stick it out. So that is what is going on. Seeing the little number go up and down and up and down and up and down. Well, it'll do that. I have no control over how many people watch this and whoever watches this. So, so what was I saying? This is a contemplation. This live stream. This is already somewhat into the live stream already. This is a real me podcast and a live stream at the same time. You know, where you know, I posted. You know, when I post these episodes, they will get published, and you should see them on both platforms. Now, I do have to have some grace with myself because, well, I cannot will away feelings. They're just going to be there. They're just going to be there. Just going to be there. I cannot just force them away. Just going to stay there. Just have to know the truth of the matter. That is the truth. Just have to have faith that it will work out without always needing to check and monitor it and do all that. Which I'm not always going to do. Let's say, what if the episodes don't publish? Well, if they don't publish, I'm not going to an advisor and getting help to just get an episode published. I'm not going to the trouble to do that. If they would not get published, which all of them will, because they should and they will. I can tell you that much. You know, whatever happened with the flu, never going to happen again, really. Never, okay, never going to happen again. Yeah. So, slowly but surely, all the insecurity will be alleviated. And I will be more relaxed, more liberated when it comes to these episodes that I enjoy doing, but it's kind of stifled right now. Beginning of June, end of May. Progress report. No one's watching this right now. What's going on? Did I just scare everybody away? Sorry if I get personal here. I'm just, this is my live stream and I can say whatever I want to say. And so, God forbid that I should hold in my voice, that I should hold in my ideas, my truth, and censor what I'm going to say besides what doesn't feel right. Because as I said on one of my videos, you can do anything you want that does feel right. But if it doesn't feel right, you cannot do it. Okay. That's how this 3D reality works. It does not work on ego impulses. It works on spiritual soul intuition. That's how you can find the most meaning and bliss and joy in your life. And thank goodness it works that way, because if we were all very impulsive and ego driven, wow, this would be a really, really messy, complicated, even more complicated world. And it already is. It's a hellfest right now, what's going on in the world. So, it needs to be a more soul-centered place. And I think that we're getting there, but we're just not there yet. And what's going on collectively, globally, is really, really problematic. And if I want to judge anyone for whatever they do, I'm going to stop in my tracks and say, guess what? Not my business. Let me tell you a little anecdote that happened on this trip. Um, I was getting my syrup on my waffle yesterday morning at breakfast in the hotel, and what happened was there was a container of syrup, like a big container. And what didn't occur to me at the time was to think, oh, I could put it in a cup. Pour the syrup in a cup and then bring it to the table and pour it on the waffle. Well, I didn't do that. I poured it right on there. And as I was walking with the plate level in my hand, I could have sworn it was level in my hand. I didn't tip or tilt the plate. It was level. And this one stranger of a guy was sitting at a table saying, "You're dripping it." It's like, what business is it of yours to say that? You were sitting at your table, minding your own business, and you had to say something about what I was doing. You had to intervene. Well, guess what? That's not my problem. Now, yes, I could have poured the syrup into a cup. Yes, okay. That would have been smarter to do. So, thank you for that. But still, it was none of your business. What people think of me is none of my business. And it's really none of my concern what goes on in the minds of others when it comes to me and who I am, because that's their own business. Like, I'm learning to separate myself out from others. Like, yes, I will look at that and do it differently because, well, that idea introduced me, and I'm not going to deny that. But don't get involved. It is not your business. It is not your concern to get involved. So I don't like it when anyone is in my business. And if any Karen comes to me at any point in my life, I'm going to ask her some really, really probing questions, like just in a honest, assertive way, but a compassionate way. Like, what business is it of yours to come to me and say this? Okay, you're living your life, mind your own business. What I do has nothing to do with you. Okay, nothing. Nada. No. So, and quite obviously, my dad was there and not my mom. If it was my mom, it would have been probably different. She would probably have thought, like, okay, put the syrup in a cup. Oh no, it wasn't that. And there was a stranger that was not happy. And he had no reason to be unhappy with me because it wasn't his business to say anything, and yet he did. Like, and I keep having these dreams where I am yet again on my scooter. Yet again on my scooter, going up to people in at the skate park or the tennis court or the whatever, getting in other people's business. I keep having these recurring dreams. I'm like, I wake up and I go, no, in my real life, I don't want to get into others' business like this. That is their own private business. I cannot control them. And so the Taurus North Node is about letting go of control and about understanding where you and others begin, understanding that you have control over your own life. So surrender the need to control what others are doing in their lives because that's their business, not my business. So I'm done with the scooter. I don't even want to risk going on the electric scooter anymore because I am not falling on my teeth again and having to wear a retainer a lot and injuring them. Well, like, no, 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 no. And if any doctor says a single thing about what happened last year, no, the subject changes right away because I do not want to dwell and even talk about what happened last year. The only thing that I want to remember from last year There's all this. See this? See this? Oracle decks. See all those Oracle decks? I gathered these from 2024, starting 2021, one in 2022, another one in 2023, some in 2024, and look at all this. There's more. There's more decks. This is all 2025, plus, say, four of them, which I got this year. This is all the gifts of 2025, mainly 2025 and 2024, that I have gotten and that I want to keep, because it's all good stuff. And 2025 was a good year, with my job and with getting all these decks. So I will never give up any of these decks because they're so precious to me. And this is my whole collection, over 100 decks of Oracle cards. I've lost count, like 120 or something decks. Crazy, right? Well, that's how obsessed I was into it. And I no longer feel envious or jealous of those who have more Oracle decks than I do. Because I feel very, very secure with the collection that I have right now, as you can see. So that was a little bit of a tour there. What was I talking about? Yeah. So minding your own business. I'm not going to. Hello, Jessica. Nice to see you. I'm not going to get in other people's business anymore. And I don't like it when others get in my business. I mean, okay, here's the thing that I realized. Piece of wisdom right here. If you meet somebody and they fully support you being your authentic self and fully support being who you are in social media, in your life, or whatever, if they love you for who you are, if they see you for who you are, if they respect you for who you are, and are into what you do, and like, more please, they want more of yourself and your energy and your what you have to bring to the table and all that. And if you would control somebody else, another person, another another individual, if you were to control another person, excuse me, controlling another person or judging another person for something that you just don't like, and you brought it up to the person who supports you being your authentic self, you know what they're going to say? You know what they're going to say? Leave them alone. I'd let them do what they want to do. Focus on your own life. Focus on what you want to build in your authenticity. Like, that's what they would say. That's exactly what they would say. So I know someone right now in my personal life, and I'm going to talk about it here because I can, and I will. Okay. I'm not going to be restricted in any restriction on what I can say. It's conditioning. Okay. I'm not giving into conditioning. Like, nope. No. So, someone that I know in my life right now would say that because he is very, very authentic to himself. And, I do think, there has to be some boundaries drawn with this relationship because, yeah, it's kind of crossing the line a little bit because he mentioned a couple times to me, well, let's have a podcast episode. This is somebody that I work with. Let's have a podcast episode together. I'm not ready for that yet. And my mom doesn't think it's appropriate to have a podcast episode right now. Maybe when you're done being my job coach, we can have a podcast episode, but not now. It's not the time for that. Not the time. Because it as convincing as you were, I don't like your content, but I really, really, really like who you are to me in person. But on social media, on the internet, that content is not, I would not, if I didn't know you, I wouldn't want to watch you. That would not be my kind of content at all. That's not my kind of content. I don't subscribe to that kind of content. I don't watch that kind of content. I I don't like, that's not in my value system of what I like to see in a person on social media. You are not that person that I like to see online and social media. That is different than saying I don't like this person at all, because as I said in my disliking someone's social media presence episode, which was about this individual that I know in my life, the universe has some divine plan for me that I am trying to cobble together and figure out what this plan is, with why I'm in this relationship in the first place. And it's like, you know, the person online, the person who they are online is very different than social media. So, it's a huge part of it. So, I don't know if you're going to see any guests on my podcast for a long time. Um, it's really, really tricky because I don't like this person's content at all. It's very amateur, very not very good, cursing all over the place, very, very rebellious person, very, uninhibited. Um, I'm uninhibited too, and I aspire to be, but I'm not like that, and I don't want to be like that. No, so, nope, not my, not my cup of tea. That content is not my cup of tea. Okay, so all right, so point being with this live stream, there's a lot of water in the sky, a lot of emotional content. Mercury in Cancer, Venus in Cancer, um, Jupiter in Cancer. Well, let me see what other water placements do we have going on here. Um, okay. The North Node's in Pisces right now. The North Node is in Pisces. The Mercury in Cancer is really, this is a watery month. Even though it's Gemini season, June is a very watery month. Very, very much indeed. And so June, goes on with June is that, what's I going to say? Mercury in Cancer. Mercury in Cancer. The thing with Mercury in Cancer is that it thinks very emotionally. Like, you have to understand, the emotions are tied into what it thinks about. The emotions and the logic are tied in as one thing together. They're tied in, they're intermingled, you can't separate them. And they're very, very sensitive. They communicate very, very maybe sentimentally, or maybe a tender kind of way. I mean, there's all kind of ways you could spin it, really. But Mercury in Cancer is the way it is. It'll go retrograde at the end of the month. Venus in Cancer, I've already discussed Venus in Cancer on the last live stream. More private, more sort of quieter, more emotionally based in conversations. We have Jupiter in Cancer, which is finishing up its stay in Cancer, and that really, really helped us expand home, emotions, and all that. We have a Venus-Jupiter conjunction happening June 9th. I did a video about that in the Cosmic Sky podcast on this channel, on Spotify, on YouTube. You can check it out. I discussed that transit, and I'll do the 12 signs tomorrow. I'm only sticking to one video a day from now on. Giving myself time in the afternoons to do whatever else I want to do in my life, to have a balanced life every single day. So, um, So, let me see here. Jupiter in Cancer, thing about it is it believes in others in a caring, compassionate, considerate way. Believes in others in a very, very empathetic, nurturing kind of way. Believes in others and says that just loves and nurtures and has a lot of, love in its wake. Just loves so tenderly. But nurturing your home and your body has a strong intuition and instinct. Where those with Jupiter and Cancer, that's what they have. And that's what we're really feeling is more connected to our instincts, connected to our intuition. Cancer is Jupiter's favorite sign, is exalted there. Where it just loves hanging out in Cancer because Cancer is comfort and sitting on your couch and just enjoying the emotional comfort and emotional security and feeling nourished and feeling content. And Jupiter is abundance and blessings and all that. So, but I still don't see why Jupiter is exalted in Cancer. I mean, to me, it should be Leo, if anything. But it is there, exalted in that sign. So it's finishing up its stay in Cancer. The Venus-Jupiter conjunction, I won't be discussing this in this live stream. That's basically bringing abundance and great opportunities, a great time to socialize, spend money, spend time at home, enjoy time with family. I discussed that energy in that 24-minute long video. Pretty short. Pretty short video on Venus conjunct Jupiter that I just put out today. And also, the North Node is in Pisces. And throughout this whole 18-month period, we are working on tapping into our intuition, dropping into compassion, oneness, connection, emotional depth, harmony. And having love for ourselves. Having compassion for ourselves. And then finally, at the end of the month, Mercury goes retrograde in Cancer. That's a time which I'm going to call the title of the episode. I plan on titling the episode A Time of Deep Emotional Metacognition. That's what Mercury retrograde in Cancer is. Mercury retrograde in Cancer is really, really introverted, very, very quiet, very, very into itself, very, very reserved, shy. Cancer is kind of a shy sign. I like to think so. Oh, shy Leo, self-conscious Leos. No. Okay, that's ego. Ego. If you're in your heart energy and you're so willing to just radiate that out, then that's when I love Leos. It's when they get self-conscious or narcissistic or in the ego that I just really don't like the sign of Leo. But I have things to say about Leo because I don't have any Leo at all in my. I'm gonna have my vertex of it. Whatever. I don't know much about the vertex, but I have to look that up. It's probably like relational things. I barely know even what the vertex is. Just like I didn't know what nodes intercepted mean, and I asked somebody in the comment section. It means that when the nodes are entirely within a house. I thought it meant hard aspects to the nodes, which that's not what it means. So I learned something from somebody who commented under my videos. So there you go. But deep time, introspective time of staying at home, looking at the unconscious emotions that go on inside of you. That's the astrology. And, mainly this is a time when I'm feeling more emotional, feeling more introverted in myself. I also know that Pluto is retrograde. Pluto's, oh wow. This Pluto retrograde has really been on my head. It's really messed with my life. Hasn't let me off the hook. I mean, any little insecurity that I have just comes up to be looked at, and I can't compartmentalize it. I can't push it down. It's just all these shadows that are in, like, that I repress, but are direct. Um, what you could compartmentalize and just put aside and put under the rug. Put under, push down, or not push down, but just put on the back burner, and then focus on your life and other things and other responsibilities. Like, that all is, um you can easily do that with Pluto retrograde. Everything just comes up, everything from your unconscious, everything that you've repressed just comes up, and you have to heal it, you have to integrate it, you have to move through it and look at it. And yeah, it's been really affecting me. um it's really been affecting me, um a lot. um so this is a time when I am in the feelings, I am in the insecurities of all this water energy going on right now. And I need to trust that I will be okay. It's all in my head. It's all just my emotions are not reality. That I can work through this. And the feelings and insecurities will probably be there during this time. But I can push past these things. I can drop into truth. Drop into stillness. Drop into security. And not let the insecurities get the better of me, because I know the truth. I keep thinking that I'm denying the truth, but I'm not. And I never was to begin with. I think that this, I'm easily able to, better able to be more secure with myself about all this stuff. And I hope that I continue to show the security, be in the state of security, and continue to produce really good quality astrology, video horoscopes, transits, placements, and any other video on my Real Me podcast that I want to record. Get on a good